What's up, Bills Mafia? We have 134 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. And this channel's gonna document every single day leading up to that amazing moment with a video. Let's effing go. That's right, Scott Blakely, and it's nice to have you back, Mr. F. Sounds like you have had quite a week. I am sorry to hear about all that. Really, losing a football game is one thing. Losing property, all that stuff is another. So, hey, man, you wanted to move to Florida. Leaving good old Buffalo. Yeah, it gets cold up here, but, after seeing the devastation in Central Florida, I am so glad I moved back from Florida. What's up, Landon? Rams versus 49ers. Who's winning? What? Oh, who's winning? Like, I thought they were playing now. I'm going to get to predictions in a minute. But I got the Rams. I'll give you an early prediction there. I got the Rams. All right. Where was I? Yeah, Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. And somebody just give me a thumbs up if the audio is okay, because I was having trouble with my audio trying to get ready for this. It was not coming through, and I assume it's coming through now because no one there has since sent me a little message here that, hey, oh, silly goose, I can't hear you. Audio's good. All right, thank you, Mr. F. Appreciate that. Well, we are just hours away from the Bills taking on the Ravens in Baltimore. Going to be a huge game. Going to talk about that a little bit, of course. And I'm going to give some predictions. And before I go any further, this is the prediction contest video thread thing. Lock in your prediction. If you get the score exactly right, I'm up in the ante because I have a subscriber, a good friend of mine named Bob. He just greased my palm with $50 today. Does that sound kind of weird? He gave me $50 last night, I should say, and on the stream. It was like such a surprise. He's such a good dude, and so I'm up in the ante. I'm up in the prize. If you get the score tomorrow exactly right, I'm going to send you not only this hat, but I'm going to get you, something to wear up here. I'm not getting you like, a real jersey with the sewn on numbers and everything like that, but I'll get you something to wear, pullover or something, and I'll send it to you. So we got Landon saying you usually like to talk smack about the Bills, but they completely stomped over the Rams in week 1. Yeah, we kind of took care of business. I don't know what to say other than we had a full squad of players, and you guys were missing Justin Jefferson and, of course, Odell Beckham. And, of course, what? Come on, Mr. F. That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. F. I really appreciate that. You said I'm still here. I appreciate that very much. Getting my night started off with a $1.99. Gonna get myself a cup of coffee tomorrow before the game. So back to you, Landon, if you're still here. You guys are struggling with injuries. What? Scott, come on. Awesome. Thank you very much. Getting 2 cups of coffee, or a cup of coffee and a donut, or maybe 2 donuts, or maybe a cup of coffee, a donut, and I guess that would be about it. But thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's so cool. I see that pop up on the screen there, and, whatever. Just a silly old Bills fan in his basement doing a live stream. Landon, back to you, man. The deal is you guys had a lot of injuries, and now we are dealing with a lot of injuries. So the Bills and Rams play again, and it'll be, as long as you guys get healthy, get a lot, closer. But we also have Von Miller, who made a big difference in that game. And, what can I say? The Bills do have a better team than the Rams as far as I'm concerned. But I don't think we were that much better. It's just that you guys were shorthanded. So that's what I'll say. But thanks for coming in here and being cool, dude. Cool dude. I love cool fans from other teams that are just cool. cool and fun and cool and can talk football without getting too whacked out. I've had my days, man, where I was at the stadium or wherever, at a bar or whatever. Usually, my younger years, when I would just get a little too stupid, pointing fingers at fans and acting like an idiot. It seemed fun at the time, but, share your fan stories if you'd like below, some sort of situation you got into or something. What? Thank you, Scott. Scott, you say I do a great job, and you like to listen to me and my takes. Wow, that's nice. That's very nice to say. I wish my wife would, listen to me when I talk to her about the Bills, but she has no interest. So yeah, you're seeing rain tomorrow, and okay, I meant to look that up before I got online. Rain tomorrow in Baltimore. Baltimore weather. And let's get this discussion about the game tomorrow going. Okay, so it's going to be about 60 degrees. Looks like it could be quite a bit of rain. Let's see if we can get the hourly here. And rain is the wild card, man. You're absolutely right. But I think rain is, makes it a little tough to play in. But more so, it's the wind. All right, so we're getting rain, and the winds are about 12, 15 miles per hour. So Josh should be able to throw the ball. They get the new balls in there for like every play. So it's not like when we were kids playing in the rain with a soggy ball and the thing was just slipping out of our arms like a greased pig. It's different in the NFL. They have new balls coming in for, I think, every play, honestly. What's up, comedian? Go Bills, baby. Go Bills. Go Bills. Go Bills. I said last night, isn't it great when you're walking around somewhere, oftentimes like out of town or something, and somebody walks by you and says, "Go Bills." It's like you just know that they're one of you guys. It's like, yeah, you're one of us. It's cool, man. So go Bills. Go Bills. That's all you got to say. I do see 3-1 tomorrow. I do see the Bills taking this one. We'll get to that in a minute. I do want to go through the NFL. I missed week 3 of my picks, but on week 2 I was horrible again. I was 6 of 8. I only picked 14 games. I missed the Thursday game, and I didn't pick the other Monday night game. So I was 6 of 10 and 6 of 8 my first 2 weeks. So I am 12 and 18 so far in my picks. Missed week 3. Going to do week 4 here in a minute. You say nice setup in my crib, right? That's a green screen and some video editing magic. That's right. That's what I really want the bar, I think, to look like when I actually do my bar, is something like this. Tomorrow I plan on painting some more of my rafters and going live while I do it, so you guys can look at the monstrosity I have down here and the huge task that I have ahead of me. These little tips that come in on these live streams, that might help me actually get this bar together. So we'll see what happens with that. And I'll tell you what, going forward, as I continue to work on this bar, I'm going to have to come up with something like tips of $25 or more. That person's going to get their name like on the wall or something in my basement. That would be cool. First name goes to my buddy Bob Lawrence, because he's the guy actually that's going to be redoing the bar. He tips me on the stream, and then he comes down here and he helps me work on my bar. The guy is just like, he's super handy. He knows everything about getting, home improvement done. And he's like, and his name's Bob. So it's like, his name is like, what's the guy's name? Bob Vila, right? This dude is just like Bob Vila. All right, Let's get on to week 4 in the NFL. We're going to go through my predictions, and then we'll talk about the Ravens game, and then we'll all go to bed so we can get up early, go to church, say a few prayers, and then get home and watch the Bills destroy the Ravens. Oh, yeah. All right. Pull this up right here. First game that we have. There we go. Yeah, the way. So we got the Vikings and the Saints kicking off in London. Super Bob. Hey, Bob. Bob is a great name. You can't wait for tomorrow. Going to expose the Ravens. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. I got a super easy take on that. And how about I know, they fired their doctor. Oh, my gosh. I mean, what the heck was that about? I mean, you see a guy stumbling after he gets hit on the field. They got a concussion protocol that's very specific. And they let him back in the game. I mean, it's just like, it was just, you think it was the fall guy, Scott? I don't, well, I agree that somebody had to go. I'm wondering how much the doctor knew about Tua stumbling off the field after they get. I mean, I just can't see a doctor seeing that and then saying, yo, he's good to go. I don't know. That whole thing is just really, really disgusting. All right. Vikings, Saints. This one in London, 10 o'clock in the morning. The Vikings have been playing good football. The Saints, surprisingly, have not been playing good football. The question here is, who's going to be able to handle the travel to London better? You got the Vikings and the Saints. I guess they're traveling from about the same distance. I don't know if either of these teams have played in London before. I bet you they have because they've had a lot of games over there. I don't know. This game's kind of a toss-up. I don't know what the NFL game line is. I'm going to assume it's probably the Vikings by a couple. Every time I pick a team, to win, they tend to lose. Like I said, I'm now 12-18 on my picks, but I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. The Vikings, I think I have the better team. I think Kirk Cousins is playing good football. I don't think the Saints, like I said, have lived up to their billing so far this season. I don't know a whole lot about these two teams, quite honestly. My analysis kind of stops there. So I'm going to take the Vikings in this one in a pretty good game. I'm going to say 27-23 Vikings. All right, let's move on to our next game. It's the Commanders and the Cowboys. Cowboys, there you are. Commanders and the Cowboys. Cowboys, another team that's been kind of struggling. Obviously, you're going to struggle when you don't have your starting quarterback, although their backup Rush has come in and he's played some good football. I've been impressed with him, and the Commanders, of course, are just horrible. I can call this one pretty easily. I think the Cowboys absolutely slaughter the Commanders at home 30-13. Then we go over to the Bears. The Bears and the New York Giants. The Bears, of course, are probably one of the worst teams in football, if not the worst team in football. The Giants have been playing some pretty good football. Had a bit of a letdown against the heck did they play and lose to? It was a division game. Was it the Eagles? Eagles, Giants, or Cowboys? Oh, no, it's Cowboys. Yeah, that was a big loss by them at home against the Cowboys. They're not going to lose at home again to the Bears. I see this one also being kind of a blowout. We're going to call it Giants 28, Bears 10. Now, we've got the Jaguars and Eagles. Eagles easily in this one. No, you know what? Not easily. The Jaguars have been playing some pretty good football, and Trevor Lawrence is finally becoming a quarterback in the NFL. They've got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. ETN is back. Of course, they got Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. He's got a resurgence in his career with Jacksonville, but I can't see them going into Philadelphia and winning. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout. I'm going to say it's going to be a closer game than people think it'll be. Let's go with the Eagles winning this one 27-20 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we got the Jets and the Steelers. The Steelers are just in a bad place right now. I mean, poor Mitchell Trubisky. I really wanted that guy to flourish in Pittsburgh. I really did. He's coming to town next week. I assume they're starting Mitchell Trubisky. I don't know for sure. And I think that not Mac Jones, but Zach Wilson might be back for the Jets in this game. This one's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one to watch, I think. And it's kind of a toss-up. And the Steelers at home, but the Jets, I think, are a better football team. I see the Jets taking this one by a final score of 21-20. 21-20. The Steelers will miss an extra point on the last play of the game. They'll score and then blow it. Moving on. We've got the Seahawks and the Lions. The Seahawks, man, they kind of play some good football, and then they don't. And then they do, and then they don't. Now, while the Lions have been playing some solid football, they've lost at least the first game that they should have won. See, the Lions, they're a much better football team this year than they had. They're one of the best teams they've had in probably, 10 years or so. So look for the Lions to take that one down. I don't think the Seahawks and Geno Smith or whoever they have at quarterback, I don't think it's going to be any good. Boy, it just sucks that the Seahawks are wasting the talent of what's the wide receiver's name? The big dude. They're wasting their talent out there. T.J. Lockett, of course, is a good wide receiver, although he's getting up there in years. And D.K. Metcalf, they're just wasting talent there. Gosh, I wish he had somehow, some way got out of. Yeah, thank you, Bob. I really wish he had gotten out of Seattle. I would have liked for him to come to Buffalo. Remember, there was some buzz about him possibly coming to Buffalo. Man, if we had DK Metcalf, forget about it. Oh, DK Metcalf and Josh Allen, forget about it. Lions win this one by final score. I'm going to say it's going to be a huge blowout, 44-12. So we did the Steelers and the Jets already. We did the Giants and the Bears. All right, Titans and Colts. That's just another one of those weird games. You have the Colts, they get shut out by Jacksonville, and then they come back and beat the Chiefs. I mean, go figure, right? So now they're home against the Titans. The Titans have struggled, but they've notched a couple. They lost to the Bills. They lost to so they're 1-2, I believe. Titans by 17. I agree totally. Titans are going to win this one by final score. The Colts get shut out again, 17-0. That's right. You get shut out again. Chargers and Texans. Too bad, Charger fans. Some Charger fans and I were going back and forth on one of my videos when I was comparing Josh Allen to Justin Herbert. They flooded in and they were talking trash, and it looks like now that the Chargers are going to possibly struggle to even make the playoffs. I don't know. Justin Herbert is a good quarterback, and I think he can. He's been injured, so he might bounce back. But I think the Chargers are struggling. If they lose to the Texans tomorrow, yeah, then there's going to be alarm bells going off in Los Angeles for the Chargers. Does anybody in Los Angeles really like the Chargers? Does anybody in Los Angeles really like the Rams, except for my friend back here that jumped on the live stream? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I can't see them losing to the Texans in this one. Look for the Chargers to pull out a close one. It'll be close. We'll say it's going to be 23-17. Browns and Falcons. Man, I hate the Browns, but they've played some better football. Jacoby Brissett has played some pretty decent football at the quarterback position. The Falcons, man, they can move the ball, they can score, but then they fall short. They give up, they blow big leads, and but they're at home. The Browns, I think the Falcons take this one. I'm going to say the Falcons take this one. The Browns are going to have another one of those huge disappointing losses. They have the lead. I'm going to say the Browns have the lead 23-14 with 3 minutes to go. And then The Falcons get a field goal to make it 23-17, and then the Falcons drive down and score a touchdown with like 12 seconds left to win that one 24-23. Heart says Falcons, and the head says the Browns. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those games. It's a toss-up. Total toss-up, in my opinion. All right, we did the Cowboys and the Commanders. We did the Jaguars and the Eagles. We'll get to the Bills and the Ravens, Cardinals and the Panthers. Another one of these games. It's like, the Cardinals aren't playing really great football. You have Kyler Murray that's kind of just he's not performing, that well. I think that guy has kind of burned his bridge in Arizona. The Panthers, I think it's Baker Mayfield starting. I mean, I don't know nothing about these teams other than, they're boring to watch, quite honestly. Panthers take this one, I'm going to say 17-14. Sorry, I'm not that excited about that one. Raiders and Broncos. Yeah, Raiders and Broncos. Now, that one is going to be cool. That's good. That's a great game right there. Russell Wilson going in to play the Raiders. Derek Carr. I mean, this team was set up to, be a top team in the AFC, but so far they've struggled a bit. But I don't see them struggling against the Broncos, but I don't see it being an easy game either. Those AFC West games are always competitive. So let's go with the Raiders here by a final score of 29-21. They pull that one out. Patriots, Packers. Packers are going to dominate this game. The Patriots, they've played tough, but I don't see them being able to handle, the Packers on the road. Aaron Rodgers is, no matter who he has as a wide receiver, he seems to make the difference. But the Packers defense, that's the part of the Packers team that has been standing out lately. And I see the Packers winning this one, I say 27-9. 27-9. Chiefs and Buccaneers, a rematch of the Super Bowl from a couple seasons ago. The Buccaneers, I mean, are they good? Are they not good? What do we got with this team here? Is Tom Brady interested in playing football anymore? Is Giselle Bundchen, on his ass every day about, retirement? What is the deal? Where is his head? And they also have had a fair amount of injuries to start the season. I think they're fairly healthy. Scott says the Bucs. You say the Raiders must win. Jim Tripp, hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you. Go Bills. Go Bills. Don't remember, lock in your predictions for the Bills game tomorrow. If you get the prediction exactly right, I'll send you a hat and a pullover. That's what we're going to do. A value of $85. Okay, Bucks, Chiefs. Man, the Bucks play tough at home. And if it's like, 100 degrees, the Chiefs will have trouble. That is one thing about Florida, man, playing the Dolphins and the Buccaneers. Like I said, I lived down there for a long time, and it just got so stinking hot. We're going with the Bucks on this one. It's going to be – no, you know what? I'm changing that. I'm not going with the Bucks on this one. I think Patrick Mahomes is able to move the ball against that very tough Bucks defense. I don't think the Bucks can keep up with the Chiefs if the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes can move the ball like I think they're going to. It's going to be a really great game. I think it's going to be a thriller. I'm going to say the Chiefs pull it out 35-28. 35-28. Then we got that is Monday, right? No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow night. And then we do have the Monday night game, the Rams against the 49ers. And if my Rams fan is still on here, he already knows that I am taking the Rams in this one. I don't think it's going to be easy, but, I mean, who's playing quarterback for the Niners? It's Garoppolo, right? Because not Justin Fields, but that other dude. What's the other quarterback for the Niners? Justin Fields. And that guy, Trey Lance. Trey Lance is, out. So I'm going to say the Rams in this one. It'll be a good game. I think it's going to be 23-19. Have you guys noticed that the scoring is down in the NFL? It seems like this year. So it seems like there's like an ebb and flow. There's like a pendulum. Like the offenses get ahead of the defenses by a lot, and it for a couple of years there was like basketball scores, and then the defense comes back. They start to make the adjustments. From season to season, and then they're able to stop offenses, and then it goes back to the offenses. So we're kind of like in the defensive side of the pendulum swing. They've been able to figure out how to slow some of these offenses down, except for, of course, the Buffalo Bills, because their offense is just too good. Your brother-in-law is a lifelong Rams fan. I'll root for them. Sure, of course. I mean, go. Blood is thicker than football. So go Rams for Jim Tripp's brother-in-law. All right, it is time. We don't really care about these games, people. We don't. We don't care about the. Where are they? We don't care about the Seahawks and Lions. We don't care about the Bears and the Giants. We don't care about the Chargers and the Texans. We don't care about the Commanders and the Cowboys. What we care about, the Buffalo Bills against the Baltimore Ravens. That's why we're here. Yes, sir. Right? That's why there's 4 people on the stream listening to this old guy in his basement talk about football. Yes, sir. Bills, Rams. I think all of us have the same conviction about this game coming up. I mean, I think we all have we're picturing the same thing, what we're going to get out of the Bills-Ravens game tomorrow. It's kind of simple. I mean, the weather, I'm not worried about the weather. The weather it's going to be wet. What's up, Kobe? Thanks for stopping in, man. Hey, lock in your prediction for tomorrow. Get the prediction exactly right. I'm sending a hat and a pullover. I mean, the rain is not going to be too big of a problem. I don't think it's going to be a monsoon. I think it's just going to be wet. And that's going to, make a difference when it comes to footing, maybe a little bit, which I think is actually benefits an offensive team because it's tougher for a DB to make a cut on a wet turf than it is for a wide receiver, because the wide receiver knows where he's going and the DB does not, and that's going to benefit Josh Allen. So I can see, for that reason, I can see the rain actually making it easier for Buffalo to move the ball, and they should be able to move the ball almost at will against this team anyway, because the Ravens secondary is piss poor. But the big thing everybody's asking about is whether or not Buffalo's going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson. And I think his game is very simple to dissect. If you look at his statistics, aside from the Miami game, but his game logs, the other 2 games and pretty much all the games he's played in his career, he's very efficient. He's 17 of 21 for 160 yards. He's 15 of 20 for 114 yards. He'll have a big game then all of a sudden. He'll be 23 of 33 for 236 yards. What kills teams against Lamar Jackson, as we all know, is when he takes off running. And if you don't have a disciplined defense, the dude is going to he's going to run past you, and he's going to get well over 100 yards rushing. He's going to either score himself or set his team up, and that's that. And then, of course, the other big concern is Mark Andrews, the tight end. After that, I mean, they don't have a lot of well-known receivers. They've got some solid guys on the offense. They got, I think Duvernay is one of their wide receivers, and of course Dobbins, right? Dobbins, the running back. So they've got, they're in the NFL. They've got players that can make plays, but I don't think that the Ravens can do the same thing against the Bills that they do against other teams. So you heard Cosell Jim make a good case that the Bills will be able to throw on the Ravens. Yeah, I agree. I think they should be able to throw on the Ravens. And also, I think that they're going to kind of do the same thing that they did back in the playoff game. I mean, they're going to be able to keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. They're going to be able to get to Lamar Jackson. They're going to prevent the big runs that Lamar Jackson is known for. And, he's going to get a few. I know he's going to get his yards rushing. Probably. He'll probably get at least 30, 40 yards rushing. But he's not going to do what he does against other teams, and that is find the quick receivers that he hits over the middle. He's a very accurate passer. I have to give it to him. And he can hit some long balls. But overall, Lamar Jackson he's kind of an anomaly in that he gets so much production out of his offense with so little in terms of, I don't think he's got a pre-snap read at all. I think he's a reactionary quarterback, and he's really quick with his decisions once the ball is snapped. I made a point last night that he does not pick apart defenses. Like Josh Allen will pick apart a defense. He'll see a defense when he comes to the line of scrimmage. He looks it over. He's got a pre-snap read. He knows where his receiver is going. He'll get his receivers or his running backs doing something pre-snap. They'll do it. He'll get it to him, and that's that. Lamar Jackson, I'm sure he does some of that, but for the most part, he takes a snap. He looks for the first receiver he wants to throw it to. If it's not open, he'll look quickly to the second receiver and, gun it into one of those two guys. And if they're covered or he doesn't feel good about making the throw, he'll try to run. And he's so quick and elusive that he burns almost every team he plays. And then, of course, when he's a threat to run the ball, it opens up the passing game, and he'll get he'll get his completions. But he doesn't have the stats that Josh Allen has. He doesn't have the stats that most top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL have. At the same time, his completion percentage is high and his quarterback rating is high. And that's why he's being considered for MVP this season along with Josh Allen. Now, there's something about the game tomorrow that to me is really pumping me up. And that is the fact that Josh Allen is, for the most part, he's the consensus leader in the MVP race right now. And who's in second? It's Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are going to be going at it tomorrow. And one of those two players are coming out of that game is probably the clear-cut consensus top MVP pick after 4 weeks of the season. That's a big accolade to have, and cities want to have it. Fan bases want to have their team have the MVP of the league, and we want it here more than any other team, any other fan base. We want our boy Josh Allen to win that MVP. I mean, every fan base wants a guy from their team to get it, but I mean, no one wants this more for their quarterback than our fan base. So tomorrow, we find out once and for all, at least for a week, who is the better quarterback, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. And I'm going to give you not only the prediction for the score of this game here in a minute, but I'm going to give you my stat line prediction for both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be within a few yards of each guy, and I'm going to be within a few points of each team of getting it exactly right. In fact, I'm the one who's going to win this hat and the pullover. Sorry, honey. Getting a little loud down here. I apologize. All right. So to wrap up what I consider a very simple game plan synopsis analysis of tomorrow, we got to stop Lamar Jackson, keep him from getting out of the pocket and getting those big runs, and just play good, solid defense, stay in position, and knock the guy down, just like we did the last time we played them. And there's one big difference between the first time we played them, the playoff game that we played them in, and tomorrow, and that is the fact that the Ravens defense just is not that good anymore. They're not the Ravens defense of old, which is so weird because whenever you see the Ravens take the field with those uniforms, you just always think of the Ravens teams over the past 20 years that have just dominated with solid players like C.J. Mosley, or of course way back when they had Ray Lewis. The Ravens have always had that defense, and just the fact that they're playing at home and they're the Ravens, I expect to see, I almost can't help but think that I'm going to see the Ravens defense dominate because of the Ravens, but I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Bills, and I think we get back on track of absolutely dominating this team. All right, so what do you guys want first? Do you want my prediction for the game or my prediction for the stat lines for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? Let's do the stat lines for the quarterbacks first. The rain's not going to stop Ken Dorsey and Josh Allen from passing the ball. Ken Dorsey, I think he would actually lead a campaign to get running taken out of the game. That's how much Ken Dorsey loves to pass the ball. If there was a group that was petitioning to get the running game completely made ineligible for football, Ken Dorsey would lead it. He's going to pass tomorrow like no one's business. So is Josh Allen going to throw 63 passes tomorrow? No, we won't be throwing 63 passes. He won't have to because this game, I think, is going to be over. I think this game's going to be over early. I think we're going back to the Tennessee Titans type of romp that we saw on Monday night. Stat lines tomorrow. Josh Allen. He's going to be 25 of 35, 308 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. You got that? Lock that in. Josh Allen, 25 of 35, 308 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and 1 interception. It'll be tipped, and one of those horrible Ravens DBs will get a pick. And Lamar Jackson, I see him going. He's going to have to pass. He's going to have to pass a lot. So he's going to pass more than he's probably passed in his whole career because he's going to be playing catch-up football the whole day tomorrow. I see Jackson finishing actually with 25 completions out of 45 attempts. So he'll have 10 more passes than Josh Allen. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson, 25 of 45. He'll have a lot of junky yards at the end of the game. He'll have 273 yards passing. 273 yards passing against the Bills. He will have 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. And more importantly than that, Jackson, who doesn't throw many interceptions, so he's going to have 2 interceptions tomorrow. More importantly than that, he'll be sacked 6 times. I think Von Miller will have 3 of them, and we'll say, doggone Von Miller. So there you go. Those are the stat lines. Lock it in. And then finally, the final score tomorrow is going to be Buffalo 38, Ravens 16. 38-16. Lock it in. The Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. Lock in your scores. Get it exactly right. Basically, what you got to do is predict 38-16 like I just did so you can share a hat and a pullover with me because I am confident that's going to be the final score and those are going to be the final stat lines. You watch. You're going to be amazed. You're going to come back the next time I'm on a live stream and say, doggone it, bro. You got it exactly right. You got it exactly right. That is cray-cray. That's what my kid says. It was cray-cray. And it will be cray-cray. All right. I got to get ready for bed. getting up early. Like I said, getting to church. If you haven't been to church in a long time, go! It's a good place to be. And then, you can say a prayer for our boy Josh Allen because he doesn't need a prayer. Everybody needs prayer, but, when it comes to the game, he doesn't need a prayer. Right? Right. Am I right? Am I right? Or am I right? I'm right. All right. Awesome. Can't wait, guys. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the tips and all that. That is really, really, really awesome. And Kobe's given Josh Allen 360 yards. That's awesome. And 6 TDs, 2 running and TDs and 6 TDs, 42 points. Love it. Jim Sharp, thanks so much for joining. And you're singing in the choir. That's awesome, bro. That is awesome. Great to hear that, man. God bless you guys. Bless everyone. God bless everyone. And guess what? I'll see you tomorrow.